R3. Fly ball down the right field line. As a plate umpire, you know, I talk about a checklist every year. You know, that I'm going through a checklist every time every time a situation changes. You know, where I've got a different base runner, different baits, a new batter up, whatever. But as a plate umpire, after the pitch, you know, after calling the pitch, your first priority is fair foul. That's the bottom line, fair foul. If you're working a two-man crew, you always have a fair foul responsibility. Now, if you get up to, and even in a three-man crew, you know, prior to the bases, you're going to have fair foul responsibility. But this R2, R3 play, and, you know, we talk about perception, and these guys talk about, you know, selling these conferences that we're training and doing things the right way. We still have people taking fly balls down the right field line from first baseline extended. You can't do that, okay? You're going to get as much distance as the play allows. Now, what's that? Well, that includes how high the the pop fly is, of course. Might be how fast the runner is on third base. It might be how mobile you are. Okay. Obviously, you know, some of our umpires might feel very comfortable, you know, getting out here to the 45-foot line if they're fairly athletic and still knowing that they can get back to third baseline extended. Other guys that are maybe, you know, not as mobile, they might, you know, as far as the play allows to them, might only be here because they realize that they've got to get back to the plate. But you got a fly ball down the right field line. First thing you're going to do is let your partner know that if you got it, okay. My ball, I've got the ball, however you want to do it. And then you've got fair foul, catch, no catch. Those are your priorities, right? Fair foul, catch, no catch. As soon as you verify, okay, first touch, you're going to give a point, right? First touch, you can give a point, whichever side of the line it's on. So if he touches it fair, still might not have a catch, but that's first touch, and I can also do first touch this way without it actually being foul, right? But if he ends up dropping it, here's first touch, now he drops it, foul. But back to what we were talking about. Fair foul, catch, no catch, all right. Then you're going to check. You have R3, all right. And you just have to use some common sense, all right. No, you can't be looking two places at once. This is your priority, okay? This is your priority. After you verify firm and secure possession, voluntary release, then you can take a look and use your brain here, timing, you know, as far as, you know, if I'm on the catch, no catch, he catches it right away, he starts to pull it out, and I look, he's 10 and 15 feet from the base, then I probably got, you know, an out on an appeal. But